Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Josh with Talk About Trek, and we're going to dive into some more Star Trek Resurgence here tonight. This is this will be part 3 of the Star Trek Resurgence series, and let's jump right in and see how our lower deckers are doing here. I think we're going to pick up after Diaz has maybe just been brought in, but it has suffered some kind of damage from that ion storm.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off.
Ooh.
Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good.
Good response time on medical.
You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
I think he'll be fine.
Status report.
Oh,
The repair
Cap's
crew
not
made
gonna
it
be happy
inside.
with me.
EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Oh, I think I'm about to get talking to. I did the right thing last time, though. I think. We'll see what he has to say.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
What?
I shouldn't have gone against your orders, sir.
You can't unring that bell. Especially when you do it, not just in front of the bridge crew, but while I was in front of the Starbase staff. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship?
This guy worries
From
too
the
much
top
about his name.
to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
You didn't have the facts.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order. But you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
I think we did the
Mr.
right
Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit.
thing. Oh, he likes trains.
I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday.
I think I did okay.
Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch
Nice.
Mr. Ermont, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Vatari.
Yes, sir.
All right. Not too bad of a browbeating. We did okay. All right. Now where are we headed? I love all these little episode titles that they throw in for the different scenes.
All departments reporting full mission readiness.
I think the crew is
We've got our full
digging
complement on
our
board.
style.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
I just want to stop and say, like, it's like I'm watching like an FMV from like a game from like 5 or 10 years ago, but I'm still so very hype because it's Star Trek. Anyway, let's go.
Do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Hi, Captain.
They actually look pretty
You know what?
They look pretty good.
You take this one.
Me?
What is your call out going to be? Do it.
Helm. Do it.
I'm not going to say it.
Nicely done.
Oh, now the music's hit.
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
Uh-oh. Do I need some more of my injections? Uh-oh.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Commander, help me get her inside.
What the heck? She's got some issues. Oh man.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live.
Hey, it's our
Just
buddy.
needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram
That's right, it
Duval,
still is her
Chief
first
Medical
day, isn't it?
Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
Rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the deridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
That's who I am.
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. But I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment.
Anyway, I was distracted because I was trying to look up who are the Kobliad, actually. So the Kobliad were a spacefaring humanoid species from the planet Kobliad, who were widely dispersed throughout the Alpha, Beta, and Delta quadrants. And it looks like they've appeared in Enterprise, DS9, quite a few episodes of DS9, and then even in Voyager. So they have showed up before in other Star Trek.
I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. The breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on
Hey,
the
the
bridge.
doc likes me. Let's have a look. Dr. Duvall was impressed by Jara's sense of responsibility to the crew and was encouraged to see her thinking independently when she defied Captain Solano's orders. Yeah, we're pretty tight.
Guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
And my work here is done.
We need more to
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
All right. She's our bud. Oh.
Now,
here
Carter.
we go.
The emissions that gave you that burn are
Carter.
quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already.
Oh, my buddy.
Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one
that's
hell of a
bad.
shot, though.
I hear you've been checking in on me. Thanks for that.
One of the benefits of working a security rotation. Lots of opportunities to walk by sick bay
It's
and
nice to have a
stop
friend,
in.
you know? Someone to
Millie
watch
was
out
looking
for
in on
you.
you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it.
Wait, are you angry at me or something?
Oh, no, not that. I'm sorry. I'm probably making too big of a deal here. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
All right.
You don't have to explain it.
I have feelings
I
for
feel
you.
the same way. There is something between us.
So, Do you want to
Little
find out
spark.
what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Let's do it.
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Oh,
the patient
shit,
needs to
nice.
rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Let's see. So now we gotta switch to Carter. Carter with Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Ooh, she was thrilled to learn that Carter's feelings for her tend toward the romantic. She looks forward to seeing where this relationship might go. Well, alright. I hope she doesn't die.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Oh boy, what do we
Aye,
got
Captain.
going on now?
Let's reduce the noise.
Special
Filter out
guest
environmental
star.
signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Yeah, tuned it out. Gameplay.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comm.
On screen.
Uh-oh.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
Grayson, huh?
It won't get a
We'll get a
transporter
lock.
lock. It's just
Oh.
not happening.
Power up the tractor
Tractor?
beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Just a little mark on my face. Oh, the Excelsior. Nice.
Come on, Diaz.
Tractor emitter time. Let's go. Don't screw this
First
up.
thing,
Diaz.
lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the
We got a
rotation.
legacy character on board that shuttlecraft. Lock on. Stabilized. Grayson stabilized. Watch out for that asteroid.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Clear it out. Come on. Come on, we got more debris here. One more, one more. There we go, there we go. We got a clear path, guys. Bring her in. Bring her in. What's this? Oh no! Get ready.
That's gonna take out the shuttle.
No, it's not.
Here's
We
the
got
bridge.
this.
There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Phasers.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander
Put us
Rydek,
between it and the shuttle.
plot an intercept course.
On it.
There. Intercept. Go.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Got it.
Whoa!
Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Nice. This is fun. This is a fun game. Focus. Bring her in. We got her. on Earth could be aboard this shuttle? Who's the mystery diplomat, I wonder?
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock.
It's Spock.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Can we talk to Spock? I want to talk to Spock. Oh, you know you want to talk to Spock. Say something.
Apologies for the landing, Ambassador. I was operating the tractor beam, sir. I take responsibility.
Our arrival was the smoothest part of our journey. Your artistry with a tractor beam is commendable.
Oh.
We thought we were prepared for our
Spock
arrival in
likes us.
Hotari space. But it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all. Even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Gotta be the storm.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical. Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Oh, that was so good.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
What a fun little scene he got to have with Spock there, right? That was pretty good. That was good.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff.
Lord Drop.
It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Ilidia and Hotari. Ilidians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Ilidians have shared a mining operation there. The Ilidians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Ilidians from their system. That is the official story. as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Have the Elydians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Elydian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Elydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Elydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
We could use that as leverage with the Elydians. They'll want the Federation to continue buying from them.
There might be something to that, Commander.
Putting that on the table could make the Hotari more hostile.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Elydian dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't,
all the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
All right.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
Spock.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly knows how to say the right things. At least when she wants to.
Yeah, I gotta do what I
I'm
gotta do.
perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines. Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace will very well depend on it.
This game is tight. And we're going to take a break right there, because we are at, that's about a good 30 minutes right there. So let's take a break, let's get up, let's stretch our legs, and we'll be right back for some